Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Ellen Barrett. Thank you for joining us today. And now we're starting off the show today with our news partner, WWBIC. This is Andrea Hughes, and we've also got Sara Alvarado, and she's with the Alvarador Real Estate Group. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're talking real estate today.
Oh, yeah.
WWBIC's got a really great event coming up called the Intro to the Rental Property Business, and that's coming up in February here. Tell us a little bit about WWBIC and the event that's coming up.
Well, WWBIC is a nonprofit organization that helps people start small businesses.
Yeah.
And we've been around for about 30 years. We do have an office in Milwaukee. We have an office here in Madison and one in Kenosha. And then we do have representatives around the state. And we offer a lot of things. So if you just have an idea, you're thinking about a small business, you can come in and talk to us, one of our counselors, see which path you may need to go, if there are other resources, training. We also have funding. So if there's a loan that you need to kick off your small business, we can provide that. And then there's educational courses. So we have everything from like QuickBooks to HR, you have employee issues. And then like the one you mentioned, sometimes we have industry-specific ones. So this one this weekend is the introduction to the rental property business.
How incredible that you guys offer so much. It kind of blows my mind every single time. And what a great tool for people, because that's got to be such a big undertaking. And if people are watching this and thinking, I kind of want to learn more about real estate investing or get into it, how do you get started?
Well, like a lot of businesses, you got to start planning, you know, and you've got to figure out what's right for you.
Right.
And you got to consider some capital. You know, when you talk about buying a house, you do have to have a down payment. So that's one of the steps that you need to consider. Then you think about the business plan. You know, what kind of house do I want to get? How much is it going to cost me? And you need to develop a team. I mean, you should figure out, you know, if you're going to be using a property manager, you should figure out maybe you need to talk to somebody about the issues around the legal issues of real estate. And then you definitely have to find a good real estate agent.
Absolutely. And now, Sara, you're an expert. This is what you do.
Yep.
And so let's talk about the rental property market right now and trends in Dane County. And what's the vacancy rate and how does that compare to the average and some of those details?
All of those things.
Yeah.
So Dane County is a pretty broad area. I'm going to focus a little bit more specifically to Madison.
Sure.
It's tight in terms of being able to find the right property, depending on what someone's looking for. But a lot of people are, especially when they're starting out, it's a great opportunity if one of their children are going to the UW. So a lot of campus properties are usually what the interest is, and so then condition becomes an issue. If you're looking at 2, 3, 4 units, to be able to find a property that is in really good condition and cash flows is not easy, but possible.
Right.
You just have to have, like she said, a plan in place and to be able to time it right. So vacancy rate is it's around 3%.
Okay.
When we're averaging it for our numbers, if you're like playing with numbers in terms of figuring out if it's going to work for you for cash flow, we usually use 5% just to be a little bit more conservative.
Sure. And is that something you should take into account if you're deciding to purchase a property, or are there some other factors
So
involved?
the 4 factors that I really like to focus on are knowing your numbers. So that's knowing the numbers of the property, what rents are going for, and also just knowing your own numbers in terms of what you can put down for a down payment. And then proximity is really important, where it's located, not just for the tenants, for you, if you're going to be going to do the work on the property. And condition is really important. And then what your personal risk is, what you're comfortable with. Because not all properties cash flow right away, but it could be a really good investment down the line. So being able to understand that.
Absolutely. And where can people go for online resources? And let's go over those event details quickly before we go.
Well, there's a lot of great calculators out there. And if you type in investment property, I know Sara has some that you work with at their office. They'll come in and help you with that, where you can plug in the down payment, how much you're going to pay for your the cost of funds, what you think you might have for maintenance, and then she'll help you figure out if this property is right for you. And you can go online and find some of those too. This weekend, we're going to have, it's Saturday, we're going to have an attorney there. We're going to have Sara's group's going to be there, and then we'll also have a mortgage lender there. So you kind of get all those factors, you know, Q&A, a nice panel to kind of get you started on the process.
Such a great opportunity. Thank you again with WWBIC for being with us today. We appreciate it, and Sara as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more Talk of the Town right after this.